Big hit. Let's go. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. We're back into Golgari Stompy, also known as Golgari Stompy, but with my own little twist on it. This is the color combination of black and green. Very much an aggressive-based mid-range deck with a low mana curve, with a ton of big creatures and removal spells to keep our attack lanes open. In today's video, we're going to break down the deck list in depth, discuss the strategies, the synergies, showcase and demonstrate those within the gameplay footage, and of course wrap up with our final thoughts deck review and new segment card of the day. Oh, what could it be? Did you guess it by just that? Who knows? You'll have to wait to the end to see what that is. Make sure to like the video to show your support. Subscribe to the channel for more great content just like this. And let's take a look at Golgari Stompy. All right, here we are. It still says Golgari Stompy. I haven't changed it, but I will right now. Like, let's not waste any time. Golgari Stompy version 2. If you're a longtime viewer on the channel, you'll remember Chomp Chomp, one of my favorite decks from a while back. We must have done 15 versions of this build. And this is getting back similarly to where we were because we lost a lot of the power when rotation hit. But thanks to the addition of the Alchemy cards, the power level is up, 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 up. This is, of course, like I'm saying, an Alchemy best of one deck with a 2.3 average mana value. We have 31 creatures to our 8 non-creatures and 21 land in build. We do have an additional 4 within the Kazandu Valley. This being played as the Valley is fine, but even better when it's played as the Mammoth, which is really, really cool. First things first, let's just talk about the Mammoth. This is a 3/3 with landfall. When a land enters play, it gets +2/+2. Absolutely fantastic. Within this deck, we use the mechanic Perpetuate or Perpetual to adjust the strength and toughness of our creatures. First and foremost, we have the Tenacious Pup for 1, a 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Now, this, I guess, isn't a perpetual effect, but it may as well because we don't like our creatures to die anyways. So when you cast the next creature spell, gain 1 life, and the creature will enter with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, trample, and vigilance, which is really cool. So, you know, if this Mammoth becomes a 4/4 with vigilance, trample, and has that landfall +2/+2 ability, you're off to an incredible start, right? Because it's going to be attacking for 6 right out of the gate. And then we can, you know, do stuff like Ravenous Pursuit. This is 2 mana sorcery speed. Target creature you control deals damage to equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Choose a creature in your hand. It perpetually gets +X/+X, where X is the amount of excess damage dealt this way, right? So we want to combo big creatures in with the Ravenous Pursuit on our opponent's itty-bitty baby creatures. If they don't have creatures in play, well, the Slaughter Specialist will give them one for 2, a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human creature token for our opponent, and then whenever a creature they control dies, we'll put a +1/+1 counter on the specialist, right? So this is going to open up a 1/1 that we can absolutely dominate with the Ravenous Pursuit, hopefully from a 6/6 Mammoth, and we put +5/+5 perpetually on one of our creatures. And let me tell you what, we've got a few creatures that would just love that power. The Nighthawk Scavenger, a 1+ star over 3, flying Death Touch lifelink. Its power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in our opponent's graveyard. So creature, planeswalker, artifact, enchantment, instant, sorcery, for a total of 6, making it potentially a 7/3 before the Tenacious Pup, before the Ravenous Pursuit, and before the Sap Vitality. We should mention this really quick. For 2 instant speed, dealing 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, choose a creature card in your hand. It perpetually gets +3/+0, right? So that's really going to help out our creatures as well. We also have some organic haste. Yes, the Tenacious Pup can play haste on a creature, but we're kind of saving that for the 3 drops, right? The Mammoth, the Scavenger. For 4, we already have haste. 5/6 within the Purveyor, flying trample. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they'll create a blood token, and whenever it attacks, you'll get +X/+0 until the end of turn for each blood token that the defending player has, which is really cool. So that's a lot of meat in the seats. And then we have the Lupine Harbingers as well for 4, a 4/4 with trample and haste. It enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of turns you've begun since it was foretold, which is really cool. The foretell cost is a bit extensive for 6, but it should be no problem against those control matches. And the only time we really like to foretell it is if we are against a control match. We know that everything's going to be removed anyways. Put this bad boy to the side. It's going to become quite formidable. You get a little damage in early game, they tap out because they think they own the world, and boom, there's lethal, let's go. So that's what's really cool, and we're ramping into all of these spells as well. The Jasperius Sentinel, 1/2 with the reach, it can tap to tap another creature we control to add 1 mana of any color. We have the Prosperous Innkeeper for 1/1 and 2 mana, that is. When it enters the battlefield, create a treasure, and another creature entering the battlefield on top of the Innkeeper will give us 1 life. Quite decent. And that's going to be the deck, right? We have Wild Shape for protection slash a unique form of trample. Perpetual will stay on top of the card no matter what, which is really cool. So if we have you know, a card that's +5 per +5 on it, it happens to be, you know, maybe the Mammoth, and then we can, if we don't already have trample on the Mammoth, through the pup, give it trample, remain its base power and toughness of 3/3. The landfall is going to trigger, and then the perpetual cost will still be there as well, which is really cool. And then it's just hexproof protection if you're not using it offensively. That is the entire deck, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help support the channel. We also have a Linktree link with all of the latest and greatest goodies if you want to join the community Discord, stuff like this. And with that out of the way, don't forget to watch to the end for the card of the day revealed. Ooh, it's a red one. It's definitely red. You can tell that much. Enjoy today's gameplay. Going first, I kind of like it. Could be better. But a turn 1 Sentinel is always acceptable. No turn 2. That's kind of the sad part. We do have that turn 3 and turn 4 if we pull the lands, in which we can also tap the Mammoth for. Which should be alright, I guess. Let's get them. Now that is interesting. Let's hit for 1. I think we go Mammoth first. But the Blood Vial's really, really good too. If we could pull up Protection, then we definitely would do Mammoth. So we're going to have 4 available mana, right? They're untapped. Okay. Walrus Disruption. We play the Mammoth. Play the Mammoth first so we can tap the Sentinel if we have a counter. It's going to be a 4/4 with Vigilance Trample. Land falls to a 6/6. I'm only going to hit for 1, and I'm going to fake that we have protection by not tapping the Sentinel. Play a creature, that would be ideal, but I doubt it. Fake out the protection. Right, they highlight our cards, I highlight my hand. Let's still fake that we have it. Because now they have to go to their attack phase. Have us lose our mana. Big hit. Let's go. Purveyor out. We have 2 Pursuits, which I think are dead cards in this matchup, sadly. Boom! Can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen. Don't hunt what you can't kill. Going first, with an acceptable hand. It's a little lacking in a top end, but we'll draw it. There's plenty in there. Turn 1 pop. Top deck a Black Source. remove their creature, and we'll have just like a super buff innkeeper, or what? Let's hit for 1. Because guaranteed there's a bounce spell here, right? We could make the argument that it would be better to play it first and then attack through it. However, then they know that we're tapped out, no protection, right? And that's the only reason they let that hit through. But this probably works out better for them, in all honesty. Slowing us down with a turn 1 hope. Are they milling? Are they leering? What you doing, Willis? Second black source off the top would be ideal. We could just Innkeeper first, though, for the treasure. Playing around Walrus Disruption. Let's hit for 1. If they worry it, it's out of their hand. Gaining life to 21, giving them another human, which, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of, but there's a lot of trample, there's lots of removal. You know, giving us a target in general for sap vitality. They slay it. Okay, they're you know, they're doing well. Interacting effectively. There's a red source. They take the scry, it remains tapped. To the top, they like it. Having lost that treasure does kind of blow. And I'd rather not get worried, so just play the land. The landfall's not really having an effect this turn anyways. Gain life. In all honesty, I think we just swing in and try to open the attack lanes. Right? To get these mammoths through. A double block is acceptable. I can't believe they don't take the Innkeeper, though. Really surprising. Fire on the Mammoth. Decent, right? They're doing really, really well here. 4 cards in their hand. We're basically top decking, which is pretty brutal. It's a 34% chance on land pull, which is minuscule, right? We should be good to fold out non-land after non-land here. Expressive Iteration, looking at the top 3, 1 into hand, 1 in back into the deck, other into exile, which they can play until the end of turn. Typically, you put a land into exile and a cool card into your hand for next turn, and then just, you know, whatever you like least back into your library. Okay, so they didn't get a land. Or are they just playing it from their hand and doing another expressive iteration? So they won't be able to play what they put into exile. Basically, this is just a draw. Look at the top 3, draw 1 for 2, which is not the worst value if you look at it that way still. And that just goes to show how powerful the card is if you're getting the full value from it, right? Very, very cool if you can take full effect. Is it player with the rope? Nothing new here. It's a hard deck to play. We got to give them that, right? We don't really know what version they're playing. We can assume. Specialist out. Gain life. Do not care about this innkeeper whatsoever. Just open these attack lanes. It'd be cool if we had a 3/3 trample effect there. We don't. End turn. They have a full mitt. 6 cards. Yeah. I'm hungry. When your stomach does the loudest growl. I'm sure the mic filters cut that out, though. Hopefully, anyways. Alright, it's their main phase. The game's not frozen. They're just thinking, right? The YouTube video's still live. Okay. I mean, with so many cards in hand, how could it be a hard decision? They foretell. They foretell again. We have to assume those are both all-runs epiphanies, right? And this is a control deck, not a mill deck. They untap that for a blue source. Yeah. Gross. I'm going to sap the 1/1. Push up the mammoth. Try and attack here for 5. Hashtag fading hope. Ah, right on time. They scry to the top, so they like what they found. 6/3 mammoth in play. Landfall to 8/5. Oh, maybe it is mill. Those were dual strikes, not all runs. Do they have a Tasha? Tasha dominates this deck. They do. Nice. It's good to see the mill deck getting down and dirty, right? This is a competitive build, and if you're interested in it, I have an in-depth breakdown available on my channel. Mythic Mill is what the thumbnail says. Holy Toledo's. Still alive. That's incredible. Let's hit for 8. I don't want to play this because it gives them a blocker and we don't have trample. Watch them bounce it and then we don't have an attacker for next turn. No! 3 cards in hand. Do they have a little bit more mill? Only 9 in library. They could easily get us. They could easily get us. We need a purveyor. Oh, it's just another... Good game. Oh! Miller's gonna mill. Alright, opponent up first. Hand's not the best, but I'm gonna run with it anyways. We'll be fine. We'll get there. We'll get there. Ooh, this is a very good deck. And we've played slow. And we were on the draw. I'm scared. We don't need to ramp. But let's grab as much life as we can throughout the process. Right, I mean, we're playing 3 uninhibited. I'm just worried that they're immediately in with a big play here. Right? It's like a 5/5 Town Raiser. It is. Nice. I don't know how you really beat this on the play. Right? Yeah, that's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. I mean, we have Death Touch, so it helps, but it's less than ideal. Like, if they have single target, we're absolutely boned here. Four cards in hand. The Predator grabs Indestructible. That's pretty good. Did they attack? No, wow. That's actually kind of weird. Just gonna fold out again. Right? We should apply pressure, but at the same time, we don't really have much to apply. This may give us an opening. No blocks. Down to 19. Very good. As they can mitigate their own graveyard. The double Predator is ridiculous here. Let's play the Harbinger. Go up to 20. No attacks. A turn 3 Tyrant is as good as it gets right now in the meta. I mean, we're holding it off, but yikes. Dragon's Fire takes care of our Nighthawk. And now they take it from the grave to push the other down. It's a really good matchup for them. Yikes. Down to 11. Orb out. That's really good, because it can just basically pull another dragon. And this is really our only chance. Let's Slaughter Specialist. And I still think that they just win next turn. We have Reach, but they could still be sitting on removal. Let's grab some life. Kill the token, push up our Harbingers. Of course, they could just sacrifice it with the Predator. Which they don't for some reason. So confusing. No attacks. This Tyrant has been ridiculous. I guess we could have thrown in with the Scavenger, but they're just going to let it through and hit us for 5. Right? Good game. That's a lot of drag. On the draw, not the greatest. I mean, we do have decent line, but a little slow is the thing. Probably just right with the Specialist, right? Ooh. Yeah, I think so. And then we can Pursuit the token to the Mammoth, hopefully. No, immediate removal. Yikes. Dragons! Yikes. They're going to do it again. Innkeeper out. Life gain's probably fairly relevant to this match. The reach doesn't hurt either. Not that it's going to kill anything, but we'll do our best. Tyrant out. On the land. We're just going to sack it. The Tyrant is so good. Let's do Mammoth. Play the land. Push up. Kill the dragon. Specialist is a 4/4 now. No attacks. Let's try to navigate that as best we can. They chump block. The Slaughter Specialist is going to go up even further. It could kill the Mammoth. No, just 5 damage. If they have life gain, we're probably hosed. If not, maybe we can navigate through. Well, that doesn't help. Nor does this. Swing in. Maybe we get a dragon. Death Touch and Lifelink is fairly good. It's weak to the removal they have, though, Dragonswire. Things could be worse. I mean, they're definitely not good, but they could be worse. We kill the mana. We'll kill the Hellkite next. Would be good if we could survive. Push up the Specialist. Scavenger goes up. This is a 6/3 now. It's pretty good. Specialist goes up again as well. You know, we're at risk here. We might just die. 18 life, really risking it. But they need to defend as well, right? If they don't have lethal, they need to defend. And that's what we're hoping on. Dang. Ugh. Wow. Punished for being greedy. I didn't think they would pull a 6/6 with double strike. That's ridiculous. Holy Toledos. Thanks so much for your time and attention, staying through today's gameplay footage. I really do appreciate it. It is time to review the deck. Golgari Stompy version 2 seems to be performing sometimes. Now I'm going to need your guys' help here. How can we fine-tune the deck to make it more competitive in the meta? I think that there is something extremely special here maybe we're just missing a card or two to really help flush out the consistency. Let me know in the comments below. And now let's get into the card of the day. Freshly double sleeved by Titan Shield Products. You can get a discount there if you want in the Linktree link. This is a Storm Breath Dragon. I know you can't really get a good sight of it there, so let's jump into the full screen effect. Storm Breath Dragon for 5 mana. This is a 4/4 from Theros. I'm still going through the Theros box, literally hundreds of cards at least to go through from each one of these set boxes, so a lot going on there. This is a 4/4 for 5 with flying, haste, and protection from white. You can pay 7 for Monstrosity 3. If this creature isn't monstrous, put 3+1/+1 counters on it and it becomes monstrous. So that's just like a nice little inherent buff that it can grab. And then whenever it becomes monstrous, it deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of cards in that player's hand, which is pretty redonkulous, right? If a control player likes to have a full hand, this is going to punish them for it pretty aggressively. It's not really worth a lot, 230. I think Theros was the only set this was printed in as well, which is pretty cool. And our artist, we've actually already visited within this series, which is pretty cool. Slawmere, sorry for the mispronunciation, Maniac. Great art. I really love all the cards that you've drawn, which is 6. So check their profile out here on ArtStation if you will. And, you know, let me know if you guys have ever had a copy of Storm Breath Dragon. And, of course, Golgari Stompy, our premier deck today. If you missed yesterday's build, I have it pinned in the comments below. Definitely check that out. I really recommend it. It slapped quite consistently, which was great. And until next time, like I always say, have a magical day. Take care.